Greetings, folks. This is a BlackWeasel, and today is my One Piece viewing of chapter 9:12. The name of the chapter is called Amagasa Village, and there's a One Piece wallpaper of it looks like Straw Hats are doing sports. Hold on. Chopper is a boxer, Frankie is playing basketball, Sanji is swimming, Nami is playing tennis, Zoro is a baseball player, Brook is a soccer player, but he kicked his head instead of a soccer ball. Luffy is a taekwondo martial arts artist. Usopp is a shooter, and Robin is a back rider. Alright. And then, so the chapter begins that someone says that that Ace guy that you've been waiting for, what's his name? Poor guess, the Ace, Tama. And Tama says, "Cough, do you know him, big bro?" And Luffy says, "Yeah." Oh. I guess, yep, Luffy knows him all too well. And the guy with a long nose looks on. And Luffy says that he's dead. And I think like this is the first time that he has to explain to somebody else that his brother is dead. Like, so it's kind of like a sad moment. He's dead. And then Tama looks on and she yells out, "You're lying. You're nothing but a big liar, big bro." And she starts crying and she passed out. And Luffy says she passed out. And Luffy says, so Ace also came to the Wano country. Yeah, he said that in chapter 555/04, because there's a flashback of Oars saying that Ace made him a straw hat for him, a huge one. And somebody gets angry, and the guy with a long nose says, "You bastard, are you some kind of demon? Even if what you say is true, this wasn't the right time to tell her." And Luffy says, "But even if she keeps waiting, he won't return." And the guy with the long nose says, "Even if that is the case, there's a proper time and way to say it." And so now we have a character introduction of the bladesmith and Tenji Yamakitsu, the pretty female Kokeshi dog collector. Oh, that's weird. Anyways, Hititsu says, "Who exactly are you, you insensitive man?" And Luffy says, "I'm Luffy, the man who will be the pirate king." "And who exactly are you, old man?" And Hititsu says, "Pirate? Never liked them." And he introduces himself. He says, "My name is Hititsu. I'm a bladesmith too. I have been waiting here for someone." Huh. I wonder who it is. Is it Ryuma? But he's dead as well. And Hititsu says, we're the only two left here, but this used to be a place called Amagisha Village. A new headliner named X Drake joined Kadyu's forces over a year ago." And he says the 5 samurai who guarded our village were all defeated, and the entire village was destroyed. Holy crap. So Kadyu has 2 headliners working for him from the worst generation, Basil Hawkins and X Drake. And Hititsu says the only prosperous place live in the current Wano country is the flower capital where Orochi the Shogun resides. The rest of this country has become a lawless wasteland because of Kaiju's tyranny. And Luffy says, "A wasteland? That's awful." Anyways, he starts telling the story about 4 years ago. The people in this village were living in famine. The villagers often starved to death, and just when we thought it was the end of our village, a pirate ship washed ashore. The villagers tied up their fatigued pirates and stole all their food and water. The villagers were able to quell their hunger. And those pirates who had watched us eat all the food easily untied themselves. We assumed they were taking revenge on us, but one of the pirates asked us this: "Where can I find some desserts?" Oh, it's Ace! So 4 years ago, And the guy says, those shipwreck pirates that we captured have saved our lives. Ace and his crew decided to stay in our village for a few weeks. And he says, Otama in particular grew very attached to them. And Luffy says, so that's how it is. I see the resemblance of Ace and Luffy. And it's kind of sad that Ace has been gone for over 300 chapters. Like, he died in like 8 years ago. I think, yeah, I was a freshman in high school when that happened. Anyways, Luffy says, so is there a doctor somewhere nearby? And is there any food or water? And Luffy says, I'll take Tama with me. I repaid her for feeding me earlier. And Luffy says, wow, it's a kimono. He says, I like samurai kabuto armor more. And Hichichiku says, nobody around here will wear that as a normal outfit. You'll stand out if you wear it. And Hichichiku says, I cannot go into town with you for certain reasons, so I'm leaving Otama in your care. Find someone to lend you money. And Luffy says, but you happen. And then Hichichiku says, but you happen to be my allies. You won't have to pay for food or medical care. They will help you for free. And Luffy has got himself a sword. And he says, I'm going to borrow this sword too. It looks like something a samurai would carry. And Luffy says, okay, we're heading out. And Hichijiku says, hey, wait, you fool, you can't take that sword. You shouldn't touch that sword so carelessly. It was made by my ancestor Koikitsu. It's a world-renowned sword. Really? Huh. And Luffy says, Tama, I'll take you to the doctor right now. And Hichijiku says, and yells out, it's one of the 21 great swords. His name is Nindai Kikisku. And Oda, the author, he has a trivia about the great swords. There are many blades, swords, spears in this world, but there are certain ones that are made by world-renowned bladesmiths. The 12 supreme great swords, the 21 great swords, and the 50 skillful great swords. So I see Whitebeard's Percento. I see Zoro's swords. I see certain swords that were used by different people that I don't know. And Luffy says, Kikitsu, that name sounds familiar. Yeah, Zoro has a sword. And Luffy says, whatever, I'm borrowing it. And Hichikisu says, no, you can't. And Luffy says, let me trade it for your sword. And he yells out, my sword is also war renowned. The one you carry is a cursed sword. I don't want to touch it. And Hikitsu says, you'll be cursed by that sword. I won't forgive you if something happens to Otama. And Luffy says, got it. And Hikitsu says, yeah, you definitely have to return that to me. Got it? Hey, are you ignoring me? That's what's happening right now. Anyways, there's this big ass tiger coming out of the blue. He says, woof woof. And Luffy says, hey, it's that dog. And the guy says, and Luffy says, are you going to give us a ride? This is convenient. Woof. That's what the dog says. And Otama wakes up, and she says, big bro. And Luffy says, Otama, I hope this dog knows the way. We're going to find a doctor. And Otama says, big bro, you're a big fat liar. And Luffy says, hey, stop it. We're going to fall. And Otama says, the ace will definitely come back. And Luffy says, that is impossible. The whole world knows about the Summon War. And Luffy says, and Thomas says, but he promised me. And she's crying. So this is like a sad scene right now. And pardon me, I have like a stuffy nose. And I know when I have a stuffy nose, when I turn on the fan, and I'm all automatically waking up by the fact that I can't breathe through my nose. So there's a flashback going on, and Tama says, Ace, take me out to sea with you. And Ace says, Tama, you're 5 years old, aren't you? He says, we'll come back here when our power crew is even stronger. And Thomas says, then will you let me join your crew when you return? And Ace says, pirates have to be strong. And you become the enchanted Konichi by the time we come back. We'll take you with us. And one of his crewmates says, Ace, does he really have to be enchanted? And Thomas says, it's a promise. And Thomas starts beating on Luffy's head, and she says, he was so kind and gentle. He told me he would come back. Big bro, you have no idea how kind Ace is. There's no way you'll understand my hardships. How can you say something like he's dead so casually? And Luffy says, it doesn't hurt, but please stop hitting me. Anyways, and Thomas says, oh, we can break through the bamboo grove to the north. And Luffy says, that long-nosed geezer was right. So the tiger hits on a skull, and the skull starts rattling. And he broke the jaw. And Luffy says, it really is a wasteland, because they have both come across a wasteland. That's the Wano country for you. Wait, also, I see some factories in the distance. Yeah, there's like definitely, oh. That's definitely, that's definitely capitalism for you, industrialism. And the tiger starts growing. Luffy says, a tiger, and Luffy notices a wild boar, and that boar starts oinking. But what the hell? So basically, I see a boar being chased by a tiger, and that tiger is being chased by a crocodile shark. And Luffy yells out, what is that thing? And Old Thomas says, wow, it's a crocodile shark. And Luffy says, this place is wild. And Luffy says, that looks like it'd be delicious to eat. And Old Thomas said, the strong samurai now are capable of catching something like that have either been caught or have become bandits. Also, since the animals here have been drinking polluted water in the river, they're poisonous to eat. That's messed up. And Luffy says, what? Even though it looks so delicious, unforgivable. Is that the place over there with all the smoke, the factory? And Old Thomas says, there's a quarry and a weapon factory over there. A lot of the Kaiju's underlings are in that area too. And Luffy says, what do they eat? And Old Thomas says, the Shogun and Kaiju have their own personal unpolluted farms. Therefore, that area has clean water and rice and fish and meat. And Luffy says, what? So there is a place here that has that kind of stuff. What? This sounds like communism in Soviet Russia. The Russians get an almost love. They get forced to work in factories and eat shitty food. Meanwhile, the socialists get to eat better foods and live in better quality areas. This is what's happening right now. And Otama starts sleeping, and Luffy says, hey Tama, and he says, crap, her fever's getting worse. Hold on, I'll find a doctor to treat you soon. And Luffy says, the enemies over there have food and water, how convenient. And Tama says, yeah, please forgive me. And someone starts laughing, yeah, haha, wait, woman. And Luffy says, wait, woman. And Luffy says, is that Sanji? And a woman yells out, please help me, somebody. And a couple of bandits yell out, give us all your possessions. And Luffy says, is that really Sanji? And he says, no, it can't be. And Luffy says, huh, someone's running towards them. And someone's charging towards the bandits. Oh, who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? And someone says, wow. I mean, Luffy says, wow. And they all yell out in pain. And as Luffy yells out, he took them out. He must be strong. And someone says, "Phew," and the woman says, "I don't know who you are, but thank you very much." And the person says, "Oh, don't worry about it. I just..." And Luffy says, "Hey, dog, stop moving for a second." And the person, and the samurai says, "Wanted the booze, Kuzaru." And the woman says, "But I have to pay you somehow, repay you somehow." And the person says, "Bring me booze then." And the woman says, "I don't have any." And Luffy says, "Whom?" Luffy said, "Hey, isn't that Zoro? And who's drinking booze?" Oh, it's Zoro! They finally meet up after almost 100 chapters. And Zoro says, "Huh?" And Luffy says, "Zoro, it's me." And Zoro says, "Luffy, so you're finally here." He's wearing a kimono. And Luffy said, "It's been a while. It sure been a while, Zoro." No, that's what Zoro says. He said, "It's been a while. Sure been a while, Zoro." And Luffy says, "Is everyone with you?" We got separated, but well, they're probably fine." And Luffy yells out, "You got beat!" And Zoro says, "You can hunt as many fish and animals around here as you want, Luffy. You won't have to worry about getting hungry at all." And Luffy says, "No, you should be careful. The water around here is poisonous. I heard that the animals and fish here are poisonous too." And Luffy says, "I see, so that's why my stomach's been hurting." Oh, he ate some fish, poisonous fish. And Luffy says, "Anyway, how about Zoro? A lot has happened since I last saw you. We need to take this girl to a doctor." And Zoro says, that girl looks exhausted. You shouldn't be eating right now." And someone appears out of nowhere. Oh shit, it's Brazil Hawkins. He says, "Hey, you there. Are you the nationally wanted criminal Zoro Joro? And are those your friends?" And Luffy says, "Huh? That's..." It's Brazil Hawkins. And Hawkins, he says, "Straw Hat, I was on my way to Curry Beach, but you're the criminal there, right?" And Zoro says, "Yep, that's him. Looks like he's working for Kainu." And Brazil Hawkins says, "Two of my subordinates and one bamboo disappeared. There's a 98% chance that you were the culprit, but it doesn't matter. In the Wano country, there are only two options. You can follow the strong or disobey them and live your life hiding." And Zoro says, "Luffy, Kamo said this. Don't cause a disturbance." And Luffy says, "Alright then. We'll just have to apologize to him later." And that's the end of chapter 9 and 12. It's a great build-up.